The year is 1963, and this Pontiac Bonneville could be had at your local Pontiac dealer. But before getting into this one, I'm your host, Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that shows cars like you've never seen them before. All the lines and details you can't see from far away. There is a full motion walk around at the end of the show, which shows all of the lines and details without me talking. History, specs, designs, comparisons. We do engine episodes and company history sprinkled in. If any of that sounds of interest to you, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. 1963 Pontiac model lineup consisted of the Tempest, Tempest Le Mans. Full-size cars were offered in Catalina, Star Chief, Bonneville, and then at the top was the Grand Prix. Pontiac would offer the Bonneville in the United States from 1958 through 2005. It's important to mention, though, the Bonneville name was first used on a 1957 Pontiac Star Chief convertible. Bonneville was offered in 10 generations. 1963 falls in the third generation, which was produced 1961, 62, 63, and 64. Bonnevilles came standard with everything that Star Chief and Catalina have, plus rear foam seat cushions, padded instrument panel, courtesy lights, ribbed moldings with Bonneville script on the front fenders. 63 Pontiac Bonneville could be had in body styles such as, but not limited to, 2-door hardtop, 4-door Vista hardtop, 2-door convertible, 4-door Safari wagon. Pontiac also built 777 chassis for professional cars. Let's talk specs. 218.9 inches long, 78.7 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 123 inches. It weighs 3,895 pounds. Price, $3,568, which would be equivalent to you spending $37,776.03 in the year 2025. Total 1963 Pontiac production was 590,071 units, which gave Pontiac 8.9% market share in 1963, placing Pontiac third in the industry. Total Bonneville was 110,316 units, and of that number, total convertible Bonneville was 23,459 units. It's important to point out that only 1,819 Pontiac Bonnevilles built in 1963 came standard with the standard transmission. Moving on to engines, which there were two that you could choose from, starting out in the proverbial basement with a 389 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8. It was capable of anywhere between 235 up to 312 horsepower, around 3,600 RPM, 430 pound-feet, or 583 newton meters, around 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 4.06 inches and a stroke of 3.75 inches. 5 main bearings. When backed with a 4-speed manual transmission, highest horsepower, 312 horsepower. 0 to 60 could be had in 6.6 seconds with an alleged top speed of 140 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 8 to 15 miles to the gallon. It's important to note that with the more aggressive setups, you're not going to get anywhere near the 15 miles to the gallon. Moving on to the biggest and baddest engine on offer, which was the 421 cubic inch displacement HO high output overhead valve V8, 6.9 liters. It was good for anywhere between 353 to 370 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, 455 pound-feet, or 617 newton meters, around 3,800 RPM, with a bore of 4.09 inches and a stroke of 4 inches. Compression was 1075 to 1, 5 main bearings. When backed with a 4-speed manual, 0 to 60 could be had in an impressive 5.7 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 150 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 7 to 10 miles to the gallon, especially with the tri-power. That's about what you're looking at. Transmissions, there was 2 3-speed manuals on offer, as well as a 4-speed manual, and then you had the 4-speed hydromatic automatic. Chassis featured a perimeter frame with box section structure, ball joint front suspension, upper control arms pivot on rubber bushings, lower control arms, coil springs, hydraulic shock absorbers. The rear suspension used 4-link angle-mounted upper and lower control arms. I found this 1963 Pontiac Bonneville out at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, where they got this car, and they got over 700 cars currently for sale. And let me tell you about this place. If you've never been there before, when you walk through those front doors for the very first time, you see those two receptionists sitting there. I swear you can hear angels sing. There's cars everywhere. It's like dying and going to car heaven for a moment. So much to see, and it's all separated. They got 2 different truck rooms, as well as there's just stuff everywhere, and all of it's for sale. For hours of operation, directions to get the full scoop on this very car, be sure to click the link below after the show. Oh yeah, I want to add this. My truck, my personal truck that I've used for my business and other things, is also currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's a 1952 Chevy 3800 series 1-ton 5-window with a visor. It's set up to get in it and go. It's got a 350 V8 in it with a 4-speed stick. You could go 70, 80 miles an hour all day long, and it gets about 20 miles to the gallon. I mean, you can't beat it. It's a 1-ton dually. You don't have to worry about overloading it. I am selling it at Classic Auto Mall, so if you're interested in looking at that, I will link it in the description as well. Someone buy my truck so I could buy a Nash Country Club. Let's talk styling on this car. Notice it has stacked headlights. Also love how this comes in like this. It almost looks like a figure 8. And then when you look at it even more, it almost looks like, you know, they just took the 60s lights and then just flipped them from horizontal to vertical. God. Bumpers, bumper profile. Look at how this line comes out. Turn signal indicators are mounted below. Nice Pontiac badge there in the center. Notice how the grills are angled towards the Pontiac logo. Just look at all that grill design. Bonneville in the grill. This car does have a center line in the hood going back towards the single piece curved windshield with windshield wipers so long that one rests on top of one another, but they come together. Has an external cowl as well. Bonneville spelled out on the fender on this nice grooved piece of trim, which runs about, I'd say about almost a little bit more than halfway down the door, and then it cascades. Fenders are all channeled out here. Got this nice bright trim that goes over top of the wheel opening. This car does have rocker trim. Mirrors are mounted to the fender. It's nice stain. It looks to be stainless around the base of the windshield and a pillar. Vent windows. This one doesn't have drip rails because it's convertible. The rear fenders are also flared with more rocker trim / rocker molding at the bottom. Gas filler is on the driver's side. There's an ever so faint bevel line right here, and it continues. It looks like it gets a little bit more pronounced right about here before going out. Man, look at those tail lights. I love the bright bedazzleness with this bright work around it. And this top profile. Bumpers are totally different back here than the ones up front. You got the reverse lights right there. Bonneville spelled on the deck lid. The deck lid also has a center line going back towards the vinyl window in the back. Man, this door has a lot of heft to it. Feels like a nice quality door. Got this vinyl material here and the bright material. I always forget what this bright material is called. I know what it's called, but I can't think of what the name is. Carpet down below, armrest, as well as door handle to pull the door shut. Door handle get out, window crank for the big window crank for the vent window, which is a super classy feature, in my opinion. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, you have the high beam switch on the floor, emergency brake and or parking brake. Then you got the parking brake release. There is a footwell vent, brake pedal, gas pedal. Just take a gander at this interior. Nice bank vault shut on that. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood would look like. Up above, there's sun visors here. They're a bit on the slender side, but they're nice sized. And there is a cutout for the daytime, nighttime rear view mirror and center. There we go, like that. On to the button switches and knobs. Before getting into all of that, just take a gander at all of the bright work in this dashboard display. It also looks like there is wood paneling. Not entirely sure if that's real wood or simulated wood. I love how this curves in and meets up with the binnacle display turn signal indicator, followed by the 120 mile per hour speedometer with odometer in the center, then right turn signal indicator. I'm going to say those are the headlights because that's generally where the headlights would be. This is windshield wipers with wash feature. Drive modes read, park, neutral, drive, low, reverse. So check this out. This controls the blower fan speed and it changes in the window there. I think that's really cool. You got the Pontiac heater and ventilation controls right there, off, normal, rear, de-ice. And then this one, then there's temperature, which is controlled with this. Look at that. I love the little lines that come down. That's so cool. I've never seen something happen like, I've never seen one work like that. That's really cool. Underneath you have the key for the ignition. There's some aftermarket gauges for coolant temperature, amp meter, and oil pressure. Then up here, you got amp meter. Well, there's actually more stuff. There's power top control. There is speaker control. Not sure if that's for reverb. Then you got the map light so you can see all your pretty gauges underneath here. Amp meter, fuel, and clock. Down here you have the radio, the Super Deluxe radio. Bonneville. Again. This one's got an aftermarket stereo inside the glove box, so we can't do the glove box test. Seat back profile. These seats are really nice. Very comfortable. Seat does dip down in the back, but with all that said, my knees don't have any issue at all with the dashboard. I'm 6'2". So if you're driving this car, you would have tons of space if you're about my size. Coming to the rear, just fold the seat out of the way. Notice all of the bright work on the back, or the side of the seat, I should say. Pivots out of the way to allow that much access into the back. Here's what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse or the pillar to glass ratio in this car. That's what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. There is storage when the convertible top is in use. Creature comforts. Because this is a convertible, it doesn't have your traditional coat hangers or coat hooks. But you could hang anything you would want to off the convertible top mechanism as long as you didn't forget it was there and try to put the convertible top down. That would be tragic. The windows do go up and down back here, as well as there's an ashtray, as well as armrest light, so you can see to get back here. Everything found on the passenger side is also found on the driver's side. The windows operate like this. Super cool. So I'm 6'2". With the seat in the position that it is in, there's not that much room. I can put my feet up underneath the seat. I'm not uncomfortable, but just something to consider. The seat back profile in the back is a little bit different than the front. It's slightly reclined, but the back of the bench does dip down quite a bit, so it almost feels like you're sitting one of those bleacher like auditorium seats when you were a kid and tried to sit up as high as you possibly could with your butt sagging down. Kind of has that same feel. Going to the under the hood section, hood release is right here, and then that pops it, and then there's a secondary catch right here. It's like a J hook. Super heavy hood. Oh yeah. There it is. This one's got an alternator. It's a 2-belt system. One belt runs off both belts run off the crankshaft. Both belts run the water pump fan combo. One runs the alternator while the other one runs the power steering pump. This one's got one of those glass bottles. "12-volt car. This one's got power brakes with a single master cylinder, power steering, no air conditioning. On the positive side, said to have smooth performance, as well as comfortable highway cruiser, big car, nice, iconic power plants under hood, styled nice. Against it, body parts, trim parts can be hard to find. These engines demand high octane gasoline, lots of it. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. These aren't fair. It never is. Hardly anything in life is fair, as my dad would always say. But which one would you rather have? 1963 Oldsmobile Starfire convertible, or 1963 Pontiac Bonneville convertible, or 1963 Mercury S55 Monterey convertible? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario, 1963 Dodge Polara convertible, or 1963 Pontiac Bonneville convertible, or 1963 Ford Thunderbird convertible. Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for song and tune. Name that tune. First person to get both name of band and the song title correctly in the comment section, that's key, we'll have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this one. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section, or you could always send me an email at what_it's_like@yahoo.com if you're interested. There's some big things happening for this channel next year. We're definitely going to have a reflection episode in December, so we'll keep you posted on that one. And yeah, I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. Yeah, so until next time, toodaloo! Welcome to the after show. This part of the video doesn't have any sound or commentary, but it gives you the opportunity to see this car, all of the lines, all of the detail, all of the trim pieces that you can't see from far away. Enjoy.